All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Word with Ty Brownlow. I am your host, Ty Brownlow, and remember, no one is worthless, no story is worthless. Today, ladies and gentlemen, do I have a guest for you. All the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, North Kakalaka, y'all, East Coast, y'all already know what's up. Man, give it up, Ylonda, Powell, Medley.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm doing great. How you doing?
Man, I am. Look here. I'm living swell. All right.
That's awesome.
I'm living swell. I'm living swell. No, first and foremost, let me just say thank you for coming onto the platform. I always want my guests to feel like family, you know, when they up here. Good family, not the bad family, y'all. Good family when they come on, you know, to my platform. So I try to make it as comfortable as possible. And that's why you get the warm greetings and you know, the shout outs and all that good stuff. So, man.
Well, I want to say thank you for having me.
Well, you are welcome.
Thank you.
Now, let's just talk now. You know, everybody's like, okay, so what's going on with Miss, you know, Ylonda Powell Medley? Okay, well, let me tell you a little bit about Miss Ylonda Powell Medley here, okay? Playwright, director, actress. Let's just name a few, okay? Let's just name a few, all right? We're going to talk about everything she got going on, some of the famous people she's worked with, and, you know, basically inspiration and things of that nature. Okay, so let's just get right into it if you don't mind. So let me ask, like, now, I was going through your bio on your website or what have you, and I found something very interesting. Like, you saw the movie Ant as a young child, and you knew right away after watching that movie, you already knew that you wanted to pursue a career in acting. What was it about this movie that just jump-started everything in you?
I think from that movie, because I love to also dance, even though acting is my specialty, it was just an exciting movie, and it was a little girl in it. And I just remember being in the movie theater and looking at my mom and being like, I could do that. And so I think my mom just watched me closely as I was a little kid and, you know, put me in art schools. So my middle school and my high school were art schools. And yeah, it was just, I just related to that movie. I loved the whole excitement of it. And I was like, I could do that. I love musicals.
Okay. Oh, so like musicals, like, man, okay, I always think about Fame, you know, things like that. Like, you know, Irene Cara spinning around doing her thing or what have you. Like, yes, I'm old school. I'm sort of dating myself. That's okay.
Yes.
But no, like, I totally get it. You know, the Sound of Music, you know, I'm really dating myself now.
Don't laugh at me when I tell you this, but my favorite, besides Annie, is Grease 2. And everybody, I tell you, like, huh?
Okay, so look, no.
I've never seen it before. I love it.
Hey, Grease 1, Beauty School Dropout is one of my favorite musical songs. Okay?
Yes, I love Grease.
Like, let's really, like, get it. But see, okay, this is going to be good, y'all. Okay? No. But no, like, it's just something about, like, okay, man, the singing, the dancing, and really what people fail to, you know, not realize at the time, unless you're just really a theater buff and, you know, like a musical buff, like, it's the concept of these songs and the meaning behind it as it plays into the movie or, you know, play or what have you. So that's like, you know, my big thing about it. I'm like, oh, okay. So I realize what it is that they're doing. Look, I grew up a TV kid. All I did was watch TV. You know, I was one of the few kids that had their own TV, you know, on the block or whatever. So I would sit in my room and watch tons of TV as a child. To me, it was quality TV back in the day. You know, I don't know what it is now, but
really,
those concepts or whatever, man, love it. I love it. So I love that reason. Like, hey, you know what? I can do what she's doing. And on top of that, as you said, you love to dance. So
yes.
All right. Now, let me just say this, okay, y'all. Miss Ylonda Powell Medley has like been on stage with some heavy hitters. And I mean from a very young age, you know, up till now. let me just say some of the people now. This is just some of the people, okay? You may recognize names like Samuel L. Jackson, movie star, Avengers, Snakes on the Plane, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are just a few. Rocky Carroll, excuse me, Rocky Carroll. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with him, and the name may sound familiar, if you're familiar with the TV show Rock, they used to come on Fox, one of my favorite shows.
Yes.
Yes, one of my favorite shows. Hey, I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm going in the way back machine. And I believe he was on NCIS or one of those shows on CBS.
I believe it was that one.
Okay.
On CBS, I believe.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lou Myers.
Yes.
So people will be like, who's Lou Myers? First of all, shame on you.
I know,
Second
right?
of all, let me just say, Mr. Game.
Yes.
A Different World. Okay. One of my favorite characters on the show because he always told it how it was, you know. Thelma Hopkins. All right. Singer, actress. I want to say she was like with like Tony Orlando, Dawn and Tony Orlando. She was probably part of that team or something like that. Don't quote me on that, but I believe she was part of that. But well known in the
She played not Harriet. Rachel on
Family Matters.
Yes, that's one of my favorite shows too. I'm sorry. I love her.
Look, we going in this machine, y'all. Come on now. Ron O'Neal. Now, for those of y'all that Ron O'Neal, I'm really putting myself out here. Superfly. Okay. That's all I got to say. Superfly. If you don't know what Superfly is, I'm not talking about that remake that just came out not too long ago. I'm talking about the original.
Superfly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Curtis Mayfield on the soundtrack, y'all. Chicago's on. There you go. All right. But now, you know, Mary Alice, I saw somewhere in there as well. She also played on A Different World.
Yes, she did.
Yes. So these are just a few, okay, a few of some, you know, a few of the heavy hitters that she's worked with in her lifetime. So my question to you, Ylonda, is like looking back on all of that, you know, what things do you take away? What things do you cherish? Or what advice have you been given over that time that you still carry with you today?
Well, one of the things that I really was taught was professionalism and just being on time, getting the lines down in a timely manner. And I worked with Samuel L. Jackson when I was 11. So this was before he was a big star. And I remember a year later, he blew up. We were like, oh my God, that's Samuel Jackson. And he moved to Hollywood and he just blew up. But being professional, you know, was one of the things that I take it into my own company, Ylonda Productions. I mean, I love my productions to be top notch. Rehearsals, anything that I do, I want to start on time. I want to do it in excellence. So of course, working with those professionals and working in the arena that I was, even if it was regional theater, they didn't play. You better be there. You know what I mean? And learn them lines on time and, you know, come to rehearsal like you got some sense and be, you know, and be professional. You know, ain't no drama here. So I learned that and I took that into my career. I took that whole thing into my company because I don't like drama. I love organization. And so I took that with me. I learned that just never to give up. As I look at, you know, Samuel Jackson, he's probably the biggest one that has made it that I've worked with. But looking at them and saying, okay, if they can make it, I worked on the same stage with them at one point.
True.
And if they can do it, then I can do it. And even if I'm not as big as them, I'm still doing what I love. And I'm doing it with excellence and with character and integrity.
Okay. So, integrity. Okay. Character.
Yes.
All right. Professionalism. All right. Now, man, what do all those have in common? The people I just named.
Oh, exactly.
All right. So don't get it twisted, y'all. All right. Ylonda Productions is the real deal. Okay.
Yes.
Man, you've taken that experience and you've like shaped and crafted into your own, you know, so that's all to you. Okay. Now, speaking of Ylonda Productions, you have a play now, you know, called Stuck, stage play called Stuck. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, Stuck was birthed out of something that I experienced and I felt like I was going through. And a lot of times when you're a creator, like rappers and singers and preachers even, they have to pretty much go through something or they speak their life experience and what their thoughts are. So when I came up with the concept of stuck, I realized that I was stuck first. Stuck, emotionally, with anything, financially, stuck trying to pursue a dream. And then I look around, my family and my community and my church family, and a lot of them were just stuck in situations. And so then I started to think about the generational strongholds and how, families can like, for example, you have one generation that was in the projects, and then the next generation is in the project, and then the next, and nothing wrong with the projects. I'm not saying that, right. But it's just a generational thing, or having kids out of wedlock from one generation to the next. So I wanted to write a story that talked about generational strongholds and how to enlighten people of how to break that curse. And that's what we talk about in the play. It's funny, but it's also very, very dramatic. And you can go from crying 1 minute to laughing the next minute. So I love that play.
Now, are you acting in this play, or is it just you directing and doing everything? Well, I already knew you wrote it, but are you acting and directing in it as well?
Well, there have been times when I had to play a role in it. I believe when we debuted it back in 2010, okay. I did write one, was in the play then. But I remember one time I had no intentions of being in it. I was just directing, producing, and the star, she got sick and went in the hospital 2 weeks before the show. So everybody's looking at me like, you're going to have to play that role. We can't find another Margaret. The role is the leading role. So I had to jump in, do that role, and be the producer, the director, and everything. But it was fun. And I love it because the adrenaline, the energy, when I'm in that, it's like I don't think about it. I just do what has to be done. Mm. So to answer your question, yes, I have. But on the DVD, I do mime on the DVD that's available.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So wait a minute. Let's talk about this for a second now.
Okay.
You just can't scoop that past us now. Let's talk about this mime now. Like, how did you even get into that?
Oh, the mime. Okay. So I started off in church, and there was a young lady that I went to church with, and she had approached me about doing mime. Prior to that, my mom, we were talking about it one day, and I want mime, but she came, we revisited it. And we went to my pastor at the time, and we asked him if we could do it. It was very new, like nobody in Connecticut, that's where I'm from, nobody in Connecticut was doing it. So I was really nervous. And so I remember we did it. And when I tell you that the anointing fell on us in that church that Sunday, people just were crying. And I was sick to my stomach beforehand because I was like, I don't know how people are going to take this. This is weird. Like nobody does this. Right. But to this day, so many people are doing it now that a lot of people in Connecticut have said that they were inspired by me and the young lady that I danced with. And also I went off on my own. So yeah, it opened up doors for other people. And that little mime gift has taken me all over the country. So it opened some doors for me as well.
Okay, well, see, look here, Trailblazer. Trailblazer, I'm gonna ask you what word best describes you, but I'm just gonna drop that in there now. Trailblazer, all right, so put that in your cap.
Cool. I love that. That.
Okay, well, who else was doing it at that time?
Nobody.
Okay, so who started it? Oh, Ylonda Powell started it. Oh, okay. Trailblazer, there it is. All right. You just heard it. Okay.
I love it.
Well, now let me ask now, look, these last this last year and a half, almost 2 years, it's been rough for a lot of people. Okay. But now also within that though, being a, creative, and I do understand the creative process, how have you maximized your creativity during the pandemic to become a better playwright, director, actress, during this shutdown?
Well, you know what? It certainly made me think outside the box. And right before the pandemic hit, I had a new play that came out called Big Boys Do Cry.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we did that in December of 2019 in Charlotte. We were going to do it again in April of 2020. So, of course, everything got shut down. And at the time, I had a marketing team that I was working with, and they were gun-ho about, getting the April show out. So when everything shut down, I was like, I don't know. Like, I guess, it's over. They were like, no, we got to do something. I'm like, well, what are we going to do? So my marketing manager now, he was like, no, it got to be something we can do. They were just so excited. So I said, the only thing I can think of is my DVD. So, I don't want to say I forgot about it, but my mind wasn't on that because I was so used to doing live shows.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, so we made copies of the DVD and they sold almost 200 copies during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah. So that let me know. I was like, okay, this is sweet. So, but as a director and a producer, it expanded my mind to think about other projects that I can work on. Because you when you're quarantined or when you had to be quarantined or everything shut down, you can't help but think about other stuff. In a creative mind. So now I'm writing a new television show called More Than Enough. Ooh. And I'm excited about that. It's a spinoff of one of the characters in Stuck. So I'm really excited about that one.
Well, I was just about to ask you, like, what's next? What's going on? Well, she just told us, ladies and gentlemen, this television show. So any idea of when you may, be set to drop this?
You know what? We're going to just take the first two episodes as a pilot. Okay. I'm hoping to have it done by December and, of course, stream it online. I did let two people in the industry read the first episode and they were actually blown away. They was like, there's nothing out there like this. And so I think you're onto something. And they just love the writing. And, it was funny. Of course, when I write, I like to write comedy and drama because I'm both, as an actress, I love dramatic acting and I love comedy. So I like to just put the two together. I want to make you cry and not cry. I want to make you laugh, but I also want to make you think. Now, if you cry, that's on you. But I want it to be thought provoking when I write. And then I want to make you laugh. If you're going through something, laugh a little bit. That's the best medicine.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, there it is. I'm going to say it again. Trailblazer, okay? If there's nothing else out here like it, and you're the only one out here starting something of this, genre or what have you, look, there's been dramedies, drama comedies before, but when you write from a different perspective that has been written on before, then yes, by golly, you are a trailblazer. And yes, I did.
I love it. Yes, I'm going to have to get that made and hanging up in my office, Trailblazer. I love that.
Please do. Okay, you can always go back and reference the show. All right, because you heard it here first. All right.
Yes, I will.
So if people want to get, in contact with you, if they want to see more of your, plays to DVDs or what have you, or even get copies of the DVDs, where can they go? How can they do these things?
Well, the first place they can go is to the website, which is JasandaProductions.com. Or the shorter version is jpclt.com. Okay. There they can watch the trailer of the play. They can stream it online if they want, and they can also order a DVD of Stuck. I'm telling you, we just had a screening of it last week, and I watched it. And even though I'm the playwright, I just had a chance to really sit down and watch it. And I was even inspired all over again. I was like, this, it ministered to me. So I always tell people, go ahead and get that play. I'm just letting you know it would be good for you and your family to watch. They can also follow me on social media. Jasonda Productions is basically on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. They can definitely follow me there, or they can go to the website if they're not on social media or any type of internet sites. Then they can sign up for our email list at the website. And that way you'll still be able to keep up with us and see what we're doing throughout the company.
Okay. All right. Okay. Y'all heard it here first, people. Support. All right. That's what we're all about over here. All right. Now, I've come to the last question. Now, I've been saving this for you now. This is the question that my show is known for. So I gotta present you with it now. Miss Ylonda Powell Medley. What is the one word that best describes you and why?
When I have to wrap it all up, I would say unstoppable.
Mm.
I believe it. I believe in my life. I've come through jumped a lot of hurdles, had a lot of mountains to climb, had some rough days, with my career and in my personal life and things of that nature. But I've been doing this since I was a little kid, and I'm still doing it at 45.
Mm.
And even though I may stumble, I may have to get there crawling, I may have to limp there, you're not going to stop me from doing what God has called me to do. And people from high school, they inbox me, they like, "Oh, yo, you still doing this, man. You still at it. I'm so proud of you." You know what I mean? And I could have stopped a long time ago. I could have gave up a long time ago when things weren't going the way I wanted to for years. I'm not talking about months, I'm talking about years. I felt like I was going around in circles. But when God has an assignment on your life, you're going to become unstoppable. You might, get tired or discouraged or whatever, but you're never going to stop. So unstoppable.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I know I've been dropping trailblazer and this, that, and the other, but I'm going to use a word that you said pretty much in the beginning, professional.
Yeah.
And, as you just stated before, yes, unstoppable, but, even during, all those times or what have you, you still had the chin up, you still been creating, you still hadn't, man, the process is still the process, y'all. No matter what's going on, the process is still the process, and I'm gonna treat it as such because that's just how I've been brought up. I've been around professionals. I've taken in all this knowledge. I've applied that, and Jasonda Productions, she ain't playing. Okay, it is what it is. You show up, you get ready to work, and we put out the best show possible.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
Man, there's such thing, a friend of mine used to say called TAOS, TAOS, and that's thinking actors on stage. So, I'm pretty sure you have developed that concept as well, doing the live shows or what have you. So now let me ask, is there like a chance that we're going to get back to some live shows sometime soon?
Oh, yeah. People have been asking me, when are you going to, I know you got the DVD, but I want to see it I want to see it live. When are you going to do that Big Boys Do Crying? I'm like, so we're looking at doing everything 2022. Okay. We did the screening just to kind of get our feet wet again. We had a pretty good turnout with the screening last week. People still kind of leery about COVID. But so we're gonna still try to plan for it, spring, early summer live production to put it back out there. But people have been really asking for Big Boys Do Cry because the people that wanted to see it in April, and we don't have a DVD for it. So it's like, people are like, well, I want to see it. It sounds so good. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be moving back into live productions next year.
Okay, look here, y'all. Look, live production, pushing those units. Okay, look here, y'all want that stuff? Jasonda Productions. Okay, look here, y'all want Big Boys Don't Cry, man. Jasonda Productions. Okay. Go support, check it out, man. Leave wonderful, wonderful reviews. Okay, tell your friends. Bring 20 of y'all, man. Look here, show up. Be nice. Okay, man. Yeah. Whatever the theater, policies are, obey. Okay, yes. Because as I said before, professional. We want to be professional about this. Yes. And seriously, look here, the best to you going forward. But I don't have to say that because you already got that going on. And look.
Oh, thank you.
No, seriously, that star is only getting bigger. Okay. And look, man, hats off to you. And I wish you well on everything.
Thank you. And the same for you. Thank you so much. I speak prosperity over your show, that it will go beyond measure. So, I appreciate you having me on and taking the time, and you have a blessed time, and hopefully we'll see each other again.
Yes, we will down the road. Look here, you come on back here when, you got that big boy. Look, you come on back here when you got the next big thing cooking,
Yes, I will. I will definitely. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Word with Ty Brownlow. I've been your host, Ty Brownlow. Remember, no one is worthless. No story is worthless. You can follow me all social media platforms at Word with Ty Brownlow, or you can go to my website, tybrownlow.com. Definitely getting this interview plus other great interviews as well. Ylonda, Powell, Medley, thank you. All right, we out, y'all. Peace.
Peace.